Anyone who claims sovereignty other than Allah is committing shirk. Anyone who recognizes that claim has entered into shirk. The modern state, which if you didn't know, let me tell you, was born in Europe, had his diapers changed in Europe. The modern secular state was fed in Europe, grew up in Europe, and was then exported outside, all around the world, including the Malay Peninsula. The modern secular state declares Allah is no longer Al-Malik. No. The state is Al-Malik. Meaning the state is sovereign, not Allah. That is shirk. That shirk has embraced all of mankind today. All. Illa masha'Allah. Islam declares that Allah is Al-Akbar, the one whose authority is supreme. You can't perform salat. Moving from one position to another without proclaiming Allah is the one whose authority is supreme. Allahu Akbar. The modern secular state says no. The state is Al-Akbar. Supreme authority belongs to the state. Supreme authority belongs to the Security Council of the United Nations until, of course, Mr. Bush came around. That is shirk. Islam declares that Allah is Al-Hakam, the one whose law is the supreme law. The modern state born in Europe says no. The law of the state is the supreme law. That is shirk. Allah declares something to be haram. The modern state says we can make it halal. Legalize it. That is shirk. When we pledge our allegiance to the modern secular state, and we pledge our allegiance to the constitution of the modern secular state, we enter into that shirk. When we vote in the elections, remember I'm speaking about this subject in Kelantan 2 nights ago. When we vote in the elections of the modern secular state, we do so for creating the government which will preside over the shirk. So we enter into the shirk. But if there are those who are not persuaded by my argument, they think that I'm wrong, all I say to them is, wait until you're in the grave. Then you remember my words. Yes, you will. Dajjal uses the institution of the modern secular state and the international organizations which are created one after the other, League of Nations, then United Nations, and then one that is coming now to replace the United Nations, in order to achieve political globalization. And political globalization is essential for controlling mankind. The Prophet ﷺ then spoke about riba. He said that the age of Dajjal will be the age of Kathratu riba. When riba will take control of the economy around the world. That has come today. One form of riba is borrowing and lending money on interest. When that happens, then wealth no longer circulates through the economy. The rich now remain permanently rich. The poor are imprisoned in permanent poverty. Another form of riba is what the Americans call a rip-off. That today is in money, your paper money. And this form of riba is used to rip off mankind even more, so the rich grow richer and richer and richer and richer, and the masses descend into such abject poverty that a new economic slavery descends upon mankind. This riba is used to bring about economic globalization for economic slavery on a global scale. It's not just the money they're after. No. They're after more than that. They want to reduce you to poverty and destitution so that you'll be devoid of power. So Al-Azhar University, Mubarak Al-Azhar, could declare jihad But it's a meaningless declaration when you don't have the power to wage jihad because you're an economic slave. That is the use of the weapon of riba. Riba has taken control of the economy around the world today, and mankind has now entered into a new economic slavery. The Prophet ﷺ said many more things about Dajjal, which we could not understand. No. For 1400 years, no one could understand it. He said, for example, that Dajjal will ride on a donkey. The donkey will travel as fast as the clouds. The donkey will have his ears stretched out wide. Today, it's very easy to recognize that donkey. But for 1300 years, could anyone think about the modern aircraft? Impossible. So books written about Dajjal in the past could never understand the subject fully. Never. Dajjal will enter into the ocean and the water will reach him up to his knee. He will step into the ocean, the water will reach him up to his knee. Who could understand that? For 1300 years. No one. Only a very tall man. Today, we can understand modern technology allows us to go down into the bottom of the ocean and pick up things, as though the water is reaching us to our knee. Dajjal will be jumping about between the heavens and the earth. Can you imagine a scholar of Islam 1,000 years ago trying to understand that? Today is easy. Today is easy. It's your space exploration and your shuttle going up and down. And so there are aspects of this subject of Dajjal which could not be understood. For 1300 years of our history, this book has come out at just that time where it is now possible for us to understand a subject which could not be understood before. When Dajjal is released into the earth, then the implications for mankind will be perilous. But for the Jews in particular, it will be most ominous. The Prophet ﷺ now begins to speak about Dajjal, and this is after the change in Qibla. He now suspects a Jewish boy to be Dajjal in Medina. The boy's name is Ibn Sayyad. So he says to Umar radiallahu ta'ala, you come with me. And they went, and he questioned the boy. But the boy was rather impertinent in his replies. And Umar then got angry. You know, Umar, if there were to have been a prophet after me, it would have been him. He got angry. He said, "O Messenger of Allah, give me permission, I'll cut off his head." If he were alive today, they would say he's a terrorist. Yeah. Those who want to teach us Islam, establishment Islam, they will say, this is the wrong Islam. Let us teach you the right Islam. Umar, sit down, let us teach you the right Islam. Yeah. He said, "O Messenger of Allah, give me permission, I'll cut off his head." The Prophet replied and said, "No, Umar. If he is Dajjal, you cannot kill him." Why? Because only the true Messiah, Nabi Isa alayhi salam, can kill the false Messiah. If he is Dajjal, you cannot kill him. And if he is not Dajjal, it would be sinful to kill him. My teacher of blessed memory, Maulana Fadl Rahman Ansari rahimahullah, used to say in the Urdu language, and I'm sure you have a Bahasa expression for it. He said, for the one who is truly smart, a sign is sufficient. He'll understand. Aqlmand ke liye ishara kafi hai. This is what the Prophet now does. If he is Dajjal, you can't kill him. But if he's not Dajjal, it will be sinful to kill him. There's a sign in this. There's a sign in this. What is the sign? That the possibility exists that he can be Dajjal, but that possibility can only exist if Dajjal has been released. And so this event is meant to convey to us the information, but in such a way that they would not understand it, the Jews. The Dajjal has been released. Was fed in Europe, grew up in Europe, and was then exported outside, all around the world, including the Malay Peninsula. The modern secular state declares Allah is no longer Al-Malik. No. The state is Al-Malik. Meaning the state is sovereign. Because Mr. Bush came around. That is shirk. Islam declares that Allah is Al-Hakam, the one whose law is the supreme law. The modern state born in Europe says no. The law of the state is the supreme law. That is shirk. Anyone who claims sovereignty other than Allah is committing shirk. Anyone who recognizes that claim has entered into shirk. The modern state, which if you didn't know, let me tell you, was born in Europe, had his diapers changed in Europe. The modern secular state, moving from one position to another without proclaiming Allah is the one whose authority is supreme. Allahu Akbar. The modern secular state says no. The state is Al-Akbar. Supreme authority belongs to the state. Supreme authority belongs to the Security Council of the United Nations until Allah. That is shirk. That shirk has embraced all of mankind today. All. Illa masha'Allah. Islam declares that Allah is Al-Akbar, the one whose authority is supreme. You can't perform salat.